All right, man, welcome back to the Dude's Guide to Manhood Roundtable discussions. And this session, we're looking at the heroic man and Jesus, our example. With us, we've got Nino Salvador, one of our men's ministry leaders. Really glad that you're here, Nino. So let's just start off with this. Growing up, who was your hero, man? Who was the guy that you were like, little Nino wants to be like this guy? Who do you think?
Growing up, my hero was the man that won.
Whoever that was.
Whoever it was.
Yeah.
Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Enter the Ninja. Was the guy who won.
Yeah, all those guys. Yeah, never the guy that lost.
No.
Yeah, I get that. Mine was, as you can see in my demeanor and my life choices, Michael Jordan. Right? I grew up thinking NBA prospect, maybe first round, definitely second round pick.
Yeah.
And that just, my stature became less Air Jordan and more Super Mario, and it wasn't playing out, man.
Yeah.
So, okay, so heroes give us ultimately examples to follow, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking about the guy that won. And as the Christian, our example is Christ. So how does Christ being our example, Christ being the hero, what does that mean for men following after who Christ is?
What does it mean for men is, as followers of Christ, we have hope. We have hope that we have a reality of a man lived a perfect life. It is God, but he was tangible. He was real. He was in the lives of people that are in our past that we now have gained an inheritance from. So our hope is in him and his character and all that he is.
So we're able to look back through the Word and be able to see how Jesus handled situations as an example for this is how we handle situations.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, so tell me, how is Jesus being your example? What are some instances in your life where that's played out? Where you've had to think through, okay, so, and not to get like all bracelet on you, but like, okay, so what would Jesus do? What has Jesus done? And thinking that through, how that needs to be applied in my life today.
Paralleling what Christ did and how he walked and how he interacted and engaged in people is a huge impact on me. Because being whatever environment we're in, whatever situation we're in, we tend to have a bend towards falling into this cookie cutter Christianity that is compromising, that is enabling, and we become a direct conflict with who Christ was. So I want to know, I see that in him and his word and what he did, that he had a confidence that went against that. And with truth and respect and honor and love. And I'm confronted with that every day.
Yeah.
The minute that I wake up.
Yeah, that's really good. So like seeing how Christ played all of these traits and all the traits that we've studied in this series.
Yeah.
You know, like from determination to being a fighting man to being an emotional man. Christ exemplifies all of those traits, and not just like 80% of one, but 100% of all of them.
Yeah.
I think through stories of like him going after Zacchaeus, who's like, this is not a favorable person of society, but pursuing after him to be able to build a relationship, to be able to care for him. How Christ served, right? How Christ ultimately sought after the thief. He's crucified. Jesus on the cross, looking at a man who has earned this terrible death, where Christ hasn't, and says, this is the guy that I'm going to forgive, and today you're with me at paradise. That same perspective on the cross, looking at the people that crucified him, and he says, Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. And that, you said it really well, being confronted with that, I think about that often. Am I willing to forgive like Christ forgave? Am I willing to serve like Christ served? Am I willing to lead like Christ led, even if that means to a cross? So men, that's our example. We're called to be obedient like Christ was, and we're called to follow his example of authentic manhood. So let's get into your table groups now, and let's talk about how you can apply these specific traits in your life today.